Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Impact segment tonight. The state of California in dire financial trouble. Right now it owes more than $160 billion, and next year it'll run a $13 billion deficit, and that'll, of course, add to the debt. In fact, people in Greece are making fun of California, but this is no joking matter. If the nation's largest state does go under, it might take the entire American economy with it. Joining us now from Washington, Steve Moore, senior economics writer at the Wall Street Journal, and Dr. Niall Gardner from the Conservative Heritage Foundation. Now, California's biggest financial problem right now, Doctor, is what?
I would say that California's biggest problem is overspending, a hugely bloated public sector. You have tremendous unionized power in California. This is a state whose spending has been out of control now for many, many years, if not decades. And in fact, there are some striking parallels between the situation in California and the situation in Greece. In fact, the budget deficit of California is almost identical to that of Greece. And so you are looking at staggering levels of debt in America's largest state.
Just so even I understand it, okay, is that Sacramento basically has hired too many people at too high wages, too many benefits, and the taxpayers in the nation's most populous state can't pay the salaries and entitlements, so that every year they have to borrow money to pay it. Is that what's going on out there?
Oh, absolutely. I think that as Margaret Thatcher once put it, the problem with socialism is that eventually socialist governments run out of spending other people's money. That's what's happened in California.
What about the intrusion, Mr. Moore, of the illegal alien problem? Now, in Los Angeles, it costs an enormous amount of money. They won't police the borders. The state won't, and the feds do a terrible job of it as well. So you add that. You add a big Medi-Cal. You know, it's estimated that 20 to 25% of all Medi-Cal payments goes to the elderly, to the poor, is stolen. They don't have the people to watch it. So it just looks to me, and I think the doctor said it right, it's Greece. It's Greece.
Yeah, we made the comment in our Wall Street Journal editorial last week that that California should join the European Union because they're more like the countries of Europe than they are many of their neighboring states. You know, you put your finger on a big part of the problem. California, Bill, has the most generous welfare benefits of any state in the country.
And illegal aliens get those, correct?
Not just illegal aliens. You get people from the rest of the country who move to California
just for the welfare
benefits.
benefits.
But here's the other flip side of this, Bill, that's important to understand about California's problem. California and, by the way, New York, those are the two states in the country with the highest taxes. California has virtually the highest sales tax and the highest income tax in the country. And what's happening is productive people who start businesses, people who are entrepreneurs, they're moving out of California.
They're going to Arizona or Texas or other states. Now, Governor Schwarzenegger, doctor, just totally did nothing, right, about any of this.
Well, I'd say that Arnold Schwarzenegger was a quintessentially European-style politician in every sense of the word. I mean, he really pursued a European-style big government agenda, very heavy levels of borrowing, tremendous overspending, the building up of a vast welfare state. So a lot of the problems that you're seeing now, not only in Greece, but across the European Union, can be found in California. And California really does offer a glimpse of America's future, and you can already see that future across the Atlantic in Europe.
All right, now here in New York.
Bill, let me just mention one other thing about California, if I may. You know, you want an anecdote about the problem. There was a city called Vallejo, which is outside of San Francisco. It declared bankruptcy a couple of years ago. I called the city manager and said, you know, what's wrong? You know, why can't you pay your bills? He said, Steve, you have no idea how bad it is here. He said, we have 3 police forces that we're paying for, 1 that's working and 2 that's retired. You've got these incredible pensions.
Look, I live in Nassau County on Long Island, and the pensions, the county can't afford it. They just can't.
That's right.
All right, now, New York State is not nearly as bad as California. It's running a $3 billion deficit under Governor Cuomo next year. This is the estimate. But New York is tottering, too. It can't pay its bills. And as you pointed out, it's the highest, second highest rated, you know, its taxes are crazy through the roof. So this, to me, says that these problems can't be solved. You can't job the people from their pensions. You can't pull their pensions back. You can't pull health care benefits from people who worked in the state back. That's illegal. You can't do it.
Well, it's a big problem, Bill, because, you know, what you saw, for example, in Ohio, where the unions won that big ballot initiative. The unions have all the power in Sacramento, and they have all the power in Albany. And the problem is you don't have politicians, by the way, in either party, Republicans or Democrats, who want to take on those vested union interests. Right.
Absolutely. I only have 30 seconds left, Doctor. Detroit, the mayor Bing, a former basketball player, says he doesn't have any more money. He's going to run out of money in a couple of months. They don't have any more money, and they have no hope of getting it, correct?
I think, you know, frankly, Detroit is a graveyard of socialism in America. It's an example of where you've had, you know, left-wing government for many, many decades that have really cheated the people of Detroit.
And they
out of
fled.
a prosperous
25% of the population left.
Absolutely.
But here's my yes or no. The federal government going to have to take over Detroit? I think they're going to have to take it over. I think the feds are going to have to run the city. They don't have any more money.
You know what? Dave Bing is the first reformist mayor they've had in Detroit for 30 years.
But he doesn't have any hope of getting money.
If anybody can fix it, Dave Bing can.
He doesn't have any hope of getting money. There's no tax base.
But you know what, Bill? He's a former union representative with the NBA. He wants to take on the unions. He understands it's the only way to save that city.
They're going to run out of money. They don't have any more.
Well, that's right. But Washington
and they can't
doesn't
borrow it. Nobody's going to lend it to them.
Washington doesn't have any money to lend them either.
Well,
we're bankrupt too.
But Washington can get money from China. Detroit can't.
Yeah. Well, we're almost tapped out on our credit card too.
All right, gentlemen. Dumbest things of the week on deck. Barney Frank in the spotlight tonight. Don't miss this one. Right back with Dumb.